Hi everybody, and welcome back. Okay, so let's get right to it. So last time we were working through assemblies, and I put some pieces together and I showed you the basics of what assembly is. You take a piece, you put it together in here, you take various individual parts, and you make one cohesive whole. You might have dozens or just a few parts, by the way, they make one cohesive whole. Now, I covered a whole lot of material, so I'm going to just jump in on a few of those details in a little bit more detail. So first off is the mate button. That is the one that you're going to use all the time. And so I really want to take some time right now. I'm going to delete all the mates I made. And we're going to talk through which ones you're going to use the most and what they do. Yes, 12. Okay, so this guy has no mates, which means I can drag it anywhere I want. Happy days. This guy doesn't move, but the rest will. So, first off, if I click two surfaces, 2 lines, 2 points, anything, and then click the mate button, it's automatically going to try to mate them together. That's going to happen no matter what. If I don't click it and I just click mate, then it's going to be waiting for me. I can click 2 of something. You can see that it highlights it in blue. I click a second thing. It can be a line, it can be a point, it can be anything. And it will automatically try and guess what the correct one is. I'm going to go ahead and let it do coincident for now, because I want to show you is after I hit the green checkbox, it's still in mate. I can go ahead and add another mate if I want to. And every time I hit a green checkbox, I can keep on doing this again and again. You can add as many mates as you want to before you leave here. If you want to exit, you can hit the little red X and you're out. Okay, so what mates are the most important ones? The ones I use the most often are to connect planes together, or to make a circle tangent to something else. So planes being connected, or a circle being tangent. So that's right there. Tangent, coincident, also concentric, really super helpful. Never ever use lock. That's just wrong. And usually I don't use offset or angles unless I'm trying to show something off, like a bicycle. You want to have it angled just perfectly. You'll make sure it stays there. You might use it there. But usually coincident, tangent, maybe concentric, but these two right here, these are the workhorses for pretty much all of your needs. And there are a lot more mates than this. We're not going to go into most of these right now, but they're there and they're really super cool. I can do a whole lot more there. Okay, so advanced, I want standard mates. We're doing standard mates right now. So first off, if I make 2 faces coincident, that means that they now share the same plane, okay? These guys are forever in the same plane, this surface and this surface. They can never leave that same plane, that same flat surface. If I click 2 lines, be careful here, make the coincident, they are now on the same line forever. This means that every part is on the same line. I can't make this rotate properly right now. No, it's not, okay. But for this moment, these 2 pieces, that line right there can never change. However, I could still rotate this if I wanted to. Okay. And let's get rid of it. There we go. Now let's try 2 points. Well, I'm not going to do 2 points, but 2 points, they are now connected forever. They can never move. And I can do the same thing with this. I can make a point in a line. It means that this point and this will be on this line that it's got great forever. This means it'll be on this little section forever, just that it will be somewhere on this infinitely long line that would go through that line. So I use those a lot. Usually with faces, it just makes it simpler. There are ways you can do this faster. You might be able to use 2 lines to make something better than just using 2 planes. However, in the end with mates, as long as you're getting it done, it really doesn't matter too much. So I'm going to add this mate in here, but the thing is, maybe I don't want these guys to be flat like this. I want them to be flipped around and touching. Remember, there's a button right here called mate alignment. Also use a super lot. And this right here kind of shows that even though I mated those 2 faces, it doesn't do anything with their orientation. It just means that particular face is always going to be in the same plane now. Doesn't mean this guy's going to be angled properly. Nothing of that sort. Just that face. Okay, the second one I use all the time is tangent. It takes a circular face, and it says that it's going to be touching at a single point, something else. A line, a circle. Point would be kind of weird. Usually don't do points, but you can do everything else. And so I'm going to do right here, I'm just going to make it touch the side. So what that did is make sure that that circle right there will always always, always, always be touching that surface. Okay? Does not mean that I can't move it up or down. I need more mates for that. And you can see right now there's a lot of strange interactions because of how it's mated together. And this entire time, even though it looks weird because of my perspective, it is making sure that this circular face is touching this plane, not this surface, but this plane at one point and only one point forever. Okay? So you will use those all the time, and just make sure you don't forget that you have this mate alignment button that you can switch around, which is very, very helpful. Now at some point you're going to make mistakes. You're going to add a mate that you shouldn't add. If that happens to you, go ahead and delete these guys right here. Okay, that's super important. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the most frustrating issue you will run into when it comes to adding mates. And it looks something like this. Don't close your eyes for just a moment. Okay, so I've got my three pieces right here. I'm going to mate them together, just like we've been doing. What could possibly go wrong? Coincident. Green checkbox. Wait, the select mate could not be successfully created. What would you like to do? I'm going to add this mate over to find that assembly. Okay. And now it's angry at me. Red, red, red. Lots of red everywhere. Ah, this is dangerous. So what happened? Well, when you add in a new component, the very, very first one that goes into your assembly is usually the one that's fixed. It means it can't move. It is the origin. However, sometimes if you add them in the wrong way, your other objects will also get fixed, which means they are their own little origins. They can't move. They're not allowed to move. They're never supposed to move. The way you can tell that is if you see more than one item right here with an F. You can do that if you need to. It's completely fine to fix things. However, I really suggest you only ever fix one. One object, one part of your assembly, and the rest should be able to move based on the mates you create. Okay? So, if this happens to you, right-click, go find float and click on it. And do that with every single piece except for one. And then you'll be fine. You can add your mates and all as well. Okay, everybody, so that's the last little bit here. I just wanted to kind of really dive deep with mates. Make sure you understand which ones are most important. Coincident, tangent, those are the workhorses. And also make sure you don't have that horrible, horrible mistake of accidentally fixing everything. So, thanks for listening. I'll see you all next time. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye.